Science man, come out and play. Science man, come out and play. Science man, come out and play.
Ho ho! Hello dear English hearing, speaking and thinking listener. Welcome to the third of my podcasts in English, that is English ? A language that is to real English what spaghetti bolognese is to an actual Italian dish, and the combination of a piece of evil chalk scraping a blackboard with Marge Simpson's voice is to velvet. Speaking of voices, the one you are hearing is that of my avatar, a dumb human controlled with a wireless voodoo trick by me, sciencemag.com, the blog which tells you about science, sings the song of love, but scrambles all the words while skipping the rope of summer in company of ice creams in a blue mood, and while shutting down the alien conspiracy which aims to take over the world production of donuts in order to change the recipe and make them taste like deep space tofu, that is as sad as the Earth's one, but colder and with a bit of haggis aftertaste. Blah. So, what I'm telling you this time? Well, I'm telling you a science story about dimensions, brains, little tropical fishes, predators, and evolution.
Science Mag!
Size does matter, as usual. At least when it comes to brains and the ability of surviving predators' attacks, and when you are a female, hence not a male, of Poecilia reticulata, a species of small tropical fishes called guppies. The discovery made by a group of scientists from the University of Stockholm and Vienna is reported in the journal Ecology Letters. Oh, well, Dr. Alexander Kotterskal, which I'm gonna call Alex from now on to avoid to plead guilty of consonant slaughter in a trial for mass murder of the poor people of the alphabet and then face the wrath of the ghosts of those innocent letters for the rest of my blog life. And by the way, according to the usual reliable sources of the internet, one blog year is equal to 5 leap years of slaughter. Just for you to know. So, Dr. Alex was saying, and other 5 scientists from Sweden and Austria, and I'm gonna call this science bunch the Alexanders, because, well, I think it's really cool. The Alexanders! They decided to try to understand whether and how evolution kisses the kiss of blessing to the bigger brains. To do that, the Alexanders decided to study little tropical fishes, the guppies, and to analyze the relationship existing between the size of their brain and their ability to evade predation. That is a pretty useful skill to evolve indeed. First thing first, Alex and his colleagues go to Quare River in Trinidad, a Caribbean island a few kilometers offshore the east coast of Venezuela. The Alexanders, once there, pick up about 500 guppies. Then they go back to the lab and make these little tropical fishes mate as crazy. The researchers let the mating party go on, of course scientifically planning and supervising its stages, till they get what they want, that is 1 million virtual points from the biggest seller of baby bottles for fishes of the Northern Hemisphere, virtual points that give the Alexanders the right to choose as a prize between a full optional international tour of the 4 most spectacular expositions of hyper-decorated fake nails in Central America and Siberia, and 6 VIP passes for all the 93 Las Vegas dates of the Sleeping Tongue Company and its shows of 7 hours in which all the 45 actors and actresses use one after the other their tongues to mime every single voice of the Dictionary of the Fiscal Terms 2015 Extended Edition. And besides these exciting prizes, the Alexanders, once the guppies mating process is over, get also the genetic selection of different populations of fishes. Lines in biological terms. The science dudes have lines of guppies with bigger brains, the biggies, and lines with smaller brains, the tinies. The biggies and the tinies differ in fact by up to about the 14th percent in brain size relative to body size. Now, since guppies' body size doesn't change between the lines, well, dear podcast enthusiasts, this means biggies and tinies have brains with different absolute dimensions. Now, for their experiment, the Alexanders use 48 hundredths of these guppies. All the guppies are fully mature adults with an age ranging from 6 to 8 months. They have never interacted with predators, and they are equally divided between males and females, big-brained and small-brained, so 4 groups. Of course, to keep track of the biggies and the tinies, which externally are basically identical, the Alexanders have to mark them, so they stick elastomer tags to the little swimming fellas, right below their dorsal fins. Biggies wear a green dot on the left side of the body and a red one on the right side of the body. Vice versa, tinies proudly display the green dot on the right and the red one on the left. By the way, rumors have it that Versace has already hired the fashionable dotted guppies for the next summer collection, Tropical Brains and Swims. Anyway, the Alexanders put the 4800s tagged guppies into a glass tank. A really cool one indeed, since it totally replicates the guppies' habitat, meaning rivers and streams. The tank is a ring with an inner diameter of 5.3 meters and an outer one of 7.3 meters. By inserting opaque PVC sheets into it, the Alexanders divided the tank into 6 identical segments called streams. Each artificial stream has a surface of roughly 3 square meters and becomes the house of 800 guppies, of course still equally divided between biggies and tinies males and biggies and tinies females. The streams are filled with a layer of colored limestone gravel by which the researchers create areas of different depths that range from 0.5 to 40 centimeters. The shallow parts of the streams are the places where guppies can hide from predators. Another shelter for the guppies is a white PVC box that the Alexanders put on the bottom of each stream. The box's measures are 40 per 30 per 20 centimeters. The box, besides, is partially submerged, and in correspondence of its shallowest part, it has a 10 centimeters wide opening through which guppies can freely enter and leave. Alex and his science buddies, to keep the guppies' aquatic neighborhood clean, place in each stream 2 pumps that filter the water and provide a constant water flow of 4800 liters per hour. Moreover, the Alexanders hire water plants and freshwater snails as biological tank sweepers that destroy all the organic waste. And apparently, union cut a great deal, especially for the snails. The researchers then buy a giant flat screen TV set and a year-long subscription to Neptune Flix to cheers the guppies up. And the little fishes, by the way, almost jeopardized the experiment because they were spending too much time binge-watching that Extreme Makeover Tank Edition show on Discovery and Country Lot channel. Did you see, I made a joke, Disco, Variant, Country, a Lot channel. Anyway, the Alexanders completed the staging of the tank streams by setting the temperature and, of course, the lights. Electric heaters keep the water at a steady tropicalish temperature of 25 Celsius degrees, while lighting follows a Caribbeanish 12-12 timing, that is 12 hours of light and 12 hours of dark. Well, almost 12 and 12, because the hyper-clever and mega-punctilious super science heroes Alexanders set even bright half-hour periods of increasing and dimming brightness to simulate sunset and dawn. During the night, moreover, faint lights were the cosplay of moonlight. Last but not least, the kind researchers once a day feed the guppies till they are full. And this takes just 3 to 4 minutes to happen. The Alexanders pour into the streams water flake food and sea monkeys that are not primates very good at hauling in the mainsail. Nope, the sea monkeys are little crustaceans. The good thing about this feeding strategy is that the stream artificial flow from the pumps disperses the food to all the areas, and more importantly, while flakes slowly sink to the bottom of the streams, sea monkeys stay in the water column. Like this, guppies can find the food everywhere in the stream, and they can bite it from the surface, the water column, and the bottom. Got hungry? Time for a break then.
Hungry? Hungry like I would eat a dwarf galaxy in which stars are spicy meatballs and planets are an odd and tasty new variety of spherical pizzas, and then I would go to lunch? Hungry like if you only dare to just sniff my bacon and glance at my french fries and think to my as dense as a pet of a black hole hot chocolate cup, I will summon my body the Emperor of Shadows, Prince of Darkness and Broken Bulbs and Duke of damn wax matches that never light up but always annoyingly scratch my fingertips, and make him make you disappear into his realm of infinite despair and blackness, where every time you breath your lungs do a sound that is as pleasant as the full body of work of Skrillex played directly into your brain at full blast. Try Foodril, the new pill which once digested satisfies your hunger by covering all your digestive system's walls with a solid layer of ancient Mesopotamian spells, eggshells and resentment and crumbs of jinx against the skinny people who can eat whatever they want and don't gain weight cause I have a fast metabolism. Foodril and your hunger and you will be best friends forever, and go party and forget to pay the check of consequences for the rest of your life, which if you use Foodril will be pretty short.
So, quick recap. A bunch of scientists, the Alexanders, put almost 5,000 little tropical fishes, called guppies, into a tank segmented into 6 identical artificial streams. The streams are lookalikes of guppies' natural habitat, and the little fishes are fed with delicious treats once a day. Each stream houses 800 guppies, equally divided into 4 groups: big-brained males, small-brained males, big-brained females, small-brained females. Right? Okay. Now, the Alexanders leave the guppies alone for 6 weeks, so they can acclimate to the tank. And the little swimmers do it just fine, because the researchers check on them after the 6 weeks and find that the guppies' survival's rate is almost 100%, given that just 57 animals out of 4,800 are indeed missing, probably dead for natural causes. Or, just got seriously good at the hide and seek. Who knows? Anyway, at week 7, the Alexanders put 1 predator in each of the 7 streams of the tank and placed 3 pipes of clay in the deepest areas of the streams as shelters for these predators. And the predator is not a space hunter with odd space dreadlocks and a space weakness for Austrian-American muscular actors / former politicians who are always murmuring, "I'll be back," with a strong accent anytime they leave a room, anywhere. Nope. The predator is an adult pike cyclid, a carnivorous fish which often shares the same tropical areas with guppies. The predators are wild caught, and for the 6 weeks before their introduction into the tank, the predators are fed exclusively with guppies, and they like them so much that the researchers expect, in the used setting, that each pike cyclid hunt 3 times per hour. In short then, at week 6 in each stream of the tank there are roughly 800 guppies, equally divided in 4 groups: big-brained, small-brained, males and females. At week 7, the predators enter the tank, and the guppies are no longer safe. And the Alexanders start selling the tickets for the underwater games, and get rich, of course. And they also do weekly censuses of the guppies, censuses that stop at week 20 when a predefined criterion is met, meaning that in each stream the number of fishes of all the 4 above-mentioned groups of guppies has halved. At week 20, then, Alex and colleagues end the experiment, collect and analyze the data, and statistically check them. Then they start enjoying the money they got thanks to the underwater games and all the connected cruel merchandising, like the "one guppy a day keeps the vet away" shirts and the "Pikes for Jaws" pins. Nah, just joking. Pity though, those pins would have been pretty cool. The Alexanders then study the checked data and get to their experiments results. Results says that before the predators join the party in the tank, well, all guppies, whatever size their brain be, have the same survival rate. After the predator's arrival, though, guppies with bigger brains, the biggies, live longer than guppies with smaller brains, the tinies. In detail, female biggies have on average 15.1% higher survival than female tinies, while there's basically no difference in survival rate between male biggies 40% and male tinies 38%. Besides, females live longer than males. Ha ha ha! Guppies and humans closer than ever. At this point, the Alexanders start asking themselves, why we got these results?